My name is Adrienne Garland, and welcome to Sugar Coated. Sugar Coated is a podcast that was born from the notion that for far too long, women and other people who inside felt like they just didn't fit in maybe small or even large ways, had to sugarcoat their words, their style, or in general, their way of showing up in the world. This podcast started out as a dedication to women leaders. You see, I wanted to shine the light on all the incredible work that women do and how they're making an impact. And I still do. But I realized that a key reason that women have struggled, in my opinion, is that they've had to conform to certain cultural norms and ideals, which are inherently designed to keep those outside of the norm from standing out. This has prevented more women from being recognized as the powerful leaders that we truly are. Join me, Adrienne Garland, the CEO and founder of She Leads Media, each week as I dive into raw conversations with some remarkable, badass women that will help you to strip away your sugar coat and go in the direction of your incredible dreams. Hey, everybody. This is Adrienne Garland, and welcome to Sugar Coated. So everybody who's anybody is talking about Corona. And I don't mean the beer. I think you all know exactly what I mean. And I think it's just a crazy time. And this episode is not going to be about that at all. It's not going to be about our fear and everything that's going on. There are so many other things to listen to right now that can give you advice on what you need to do. I do want to say thank you to all of the people that are literally on the front line, who are putting themselves in harm's way every day. I liken it to people, doctors, nurses, first responders who are running into a burning house and not knowing whether they're going to come out or not and who they're going to bring with them. So it's a very trying time for all of us. What I'm doing right now is doing a deep dive. So I'm healthy for now. My family's healthy for now. And I'm doing a deep dive into what my business is all about and what it means now in this era. So what I'm thinking about is She Leads Media was very much founded on the idea of live events and getting together 200, 250 people sharing expertise with audience members who are looking for information, tools, resources, networking in order to help them to launch and grow their businesses. And I think that She Leads Media can still serve that purpose, just in a different way. Obviously, in-person events are something that are affected now, and I think that they're going to be affected in the future. The way that I see it could go two ways. People are so wanting to be connected with other people that when in several months from now, when things are hopefully okay again, I'm not going to say back to normal because whatever was normal before is not going to be normal again. But when people do start going back to work and attending conferences and events, I think that it's going to be different. And there are many people who are going to want to come back together. And then there's going to be people that just don't want to put themselves in that type of a situation. And I get it. So what we need to do in the events industry is we need to provide alternatives. And I think that that just applies to everything. People learn differently. People experience things differently. People feel comfort levels for different things. And so what I will be doing with the events part of She Leads Media is I'll be transforming it. I haven't come out yet with a virtual event because, quite frankly, I don't like what I have seen so far with the events. I think that having a Zoom call and having everybody staring at their computer or the different people that are on the screen is a very impersonal experience, and I don't like it. But one of the things that I did want to speak about today was an event that I attended the other day, and I thought that it had some really great elements. So if you're listening and you're thinking, well, how can I transform my workshop or my event or my conference into something virtual? I think that there are some things that work really well and things that don't. So I'm just going to go over some of the things that I think work really, really well. And I'm just going to explain the structure of a conference that I was on the other day. And I'm going to come back and add to this episode because I am participating in another conference, a women's conference for my alma mater, NYU Stern. Today, it's the Stern Women in Business Conference, and they didn't skip a beat. The conference was set for today, April 3rd, and they just brought it entirely online. So I'm going to see how that goes, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to compare and contrast to the event that I was on the other day, which was on Zoom. So the event that I was on the other day was for an organization called We the Change. And this organization is made up of female entrepreneurs who are certified B corporations. And if you don't know what a B corporation is, they are organizations that have taken a pledge and proven through a whole bunch of different hurdles and questions and documentation and things like that, that they are committed to doing good. B corporation that everybody knows is Patagonia. So basically, do no harm, do things to help humanity. There's so much more, and you can read all about B corporation certification on their website. So this was a 90-minute Zoom conference, and it was excellent. It was the best conference or event or meeting that I have been on to date. And why it was so good, I'm going to break down the elements for you, is it started out with a grounding exercise. So very simple. Everybody signed on at the time. There was a main MC host. There was a co-host, if you will, more of a technical person, and then, or somebody to answer questions and look at things in the chat. And then there was a technical person, a highly technical person in case anything went wrong. So it was 3 people that were sort of at the helm of this meeting. And they came in and they told us about what the structure for the meeting was going to be. It was very clear. It was a 90-minute meeting. That was it. The person that was guiding that ship was very much in control. And what she did was she started with this grounding exercise. And it was literally just like, let's take a couple of deep breaths and come into the space and be here. And she requested that everybody turn on their video, no matter what. They wanted to make sure that everybody was connected. There were definitely some people that did not turn on the video, and they explained in the chat the reasons why. And it was very forgiving. There was no judgment. There was no making anybody feel bad. So that it just started out in this really welcoming, grounding type of way. Then she immediately went into a video that was, all of the elements of this video really drew you in. So this was a video that had this grand imagery, and it was narrated by an Italian woman who had a beautiful melodic voice, and there were subtitles. So the reason I'm telling you the details of that is because visually it was engaging. From an auditory perspective, it was engaging with the Italian beautiful Romance language being narrated by this person who just had the most beautiful voice. And then there was also the subtitles, which kept you engaged because you had to read. So the elements of the video really worked together in this Zoom environment. The next thing that happened was this video happened to be highly emotional and global in nature, and it talked about our environment and everything that's going on. So at the end of this video, which wasn't very long, I don't know how long it was, maybe 3 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes. At the end of the video, the moderator came back on and she just kind of let there be air and breath so that everybody could absorb what they had just experienced. And it was very emotionally charged and powerful. And so I think that what she created with that was everybody seeing things as one and everybody waiting on the edge of their seat to find out what's next. So what was next was some talk about what We the Change is, what B Corporation is, what are some of the things that everybody's doing in order to help out during all of this. And then we were given a question, a prompt. And the prompt was, what is in our hearts and what is on our minds? And they broke the people that were on the call, and there were over 100 of us. They broke us out into groups of 4. And they gave us 10 minutes to go over and answer that question. No right answers, no wrong answers, just to use that as a way to connect with a smaller group of people, because it's hard to connect with over 100 people on a Zoom call. So we got just randomly selected and put into Zoom rooms, and I got super lucky. Of course, the people that I was paired off with, it was somebody who works at B Corporation, and then the other person was a documentary and film producer from New York. So I just felt like, even though it was a random selection, I was really paired with my people, and I felt amazing about that. So we had a terrific sharing conversation. We ended up connecting on LinkedIn right there during, this networking. And I have a couple of calls and connections set up after that. So that was amazing. And after 9 minutes, we got a message in the Zoom room that they were going to bring us back into the Zoom room with everybody in another minute and to wrap up our conversations. So again, there was a lot of structure to this 90-minute call. We all got brought back into the main room, and we were asked to share any themes that had arisen during our call. And so a couple of people shared. It wasn't bad. People really minded the time. They didn't go on and on, as sometimes people can do, as I can attest to. Having run conferences since 2013, sometimes people tend to not moderate themselves, if you will. But everybody was just incredible. So we did that. And then there was a little bit more talk about, what we could all do together. And then the next thing that we went into was a shared Google Doc. So there were 4 questions that the B Corporation and We the Change people wanted to learn from everybody that was on the call. And they felt like the best way to do that was to put these 4 questions into a group Google document. And they asked everybody to go into that document and to write down their thoughts on 4 different areas that were specific to B Corporation and some of the initiatives that they had. And I am telling you that it was wild. So I have definitely collaborated within Google Docs in the past with 1 or 2 people. But seeing all the different colors and seeing people type their thoughts, erase their thoughts, restate what they are thinking, and just everybody in there putting their ideas together was an incredible sight to see. I did not participate, because I wanted to see what was going on and absorb this whole phenomenon. And it was incredible. So after about 10 minutes, we were asked to please, put our pens down and come back and go out of the dock. We came back into the room and we were then asked to go back into the document and take a look at what everybody had added, and then share some of the themes that we thought were emerging from that document. And that was a really interesting conversation that happened as well. And again, people moderated themselves. They realized that this is not the place to draw attention to yourself and to just take over. This was truly a collaborative space. Everything about this was just beautiful. So after that, I think there was a couple of more things that were said. I can't recall. But then what they did is they said, we're going to, close this, and we appreciate everybody's input and how everybody showed up and participated and everything. And then they showed this awesome video that it was like an a cappella type of video with a lot of hands clapping and snapping and just harmony, all about, women and change and positivity. And it was cool and interesting and artistic. And it was just so uplifting. So they ended this 90-minute call on the highest of up notes, and then they thanked everybody and the call ended. And then after the call, they sent out just a really quick summary email with links to the Google Doc and a couple of different points on how to connect with people and some other points of information. Very, very simple. And after this was all done, this whole experience, I took a moment because I look at things through the lens of a participant. Now, I was a participant, but I was also looking at it through the lens of the organizers. And I just have to give the biggest kudos to the women that put this together, because it was based on the technology, based on everything that is going on. They used Zoom, which everybody has access to. And they used the existing technology, but they layered in an experience. And to me, as an event producer and someone that likes to create space for people to feel genuine and heard and like they're learning something and really taking something away that they can apply immediately, I just thought that this hit on all of the marks. And if I was a teacher, I would give this Zoom call an A+. So it was truly an incredible experience. And I hope that by me breaking everything down like that it gives you some ideas on how you can be a little bit more creative and how you can put yourself in your attendee, workshop attendee shoes, or even if you are, like a coach and you're bringing together people in a mastermind, or if you are just doing some type of a happy hour hangout or something like that, to be able to bring in some of these shared elements and tap into emotions so that people can feel, sucked into the experience, for lack of a better term, is what you want to be creating if you are truly wanting to add value. I think everybody is now freaking sick of Zoom and attending these meetings and everything. So think about how you can create a really great, fun experience. I can't wait to see more creativity that comes out of this. I do know that there are some incredible technologies too that allow you to have watch parties together with a whole bunch of different elements and feel like you're in some type of a virtual location that is, relaxing or fun or corporate or whatever. So I'm looking into some technologies so that I can potentially create a virtual conference that has some of the elements that I like to put forth when I do my own She Leads conference. So yeah, there you go on that. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is this podcast, the Sugar Coated podcast, is all about sort of getting rid of the sugar coat that, many people operate under. So people are always trying to put forth a certain image. They're trying to filter things, sugarcoat things, make things not as real as they are. And I think that with what is going on right now, that people are actually moving in the direction of being more genuine and authentic. Now, there are definitely people out there that are not doing that. And when this is all over, who knows what it will be. But my hope is that when we do come out of this, that we do operate in a more genuine and authentic manner. Some people are not going to operate like that. And I really want to see what rises to the top. What is the cream that rises to the top? I would very much like to hear from you. If you'd like to send me an email, you can do so at Adrienne@sheleadsmedia.com and let me know some of the things that are on your mind or topics that you would like me to talk about, or even potentially people that you would like me to interview. And I am up for the challenge. If there is somebody that you think is out of reach that you would like to hear and you would like to have me speak to them in a real, authentic, unsugar-coated type of way, please send me your ideas. And I hope that you are enjoying this podcast. It is produced on the She Leads podcast network. We are looking for some bright new voices to add to our podcast network. And we are looking for different categories of podcasts. We're looking for entertainment. We're looking for comedy. We're looking for food, wellness, really a wide variety of topics, because we are looking to build out the She Leads podcast network and really deliver incredible value in a genuine, authentic manner. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you tune in next time. Please go to iTunes, and if you feel compelled, provide me and the Sugar Coated podcast with a 5-star review. That would help out very much. And also check out the She Leads podcast network. You can get to it by going to sheleadsmedia.com and then navigating over to our podcast network. We have a couple of podcasts up there right now. Life After Corporate with Deb Boulanger. And we are soon to be launching Feminist AF, which, if you don't know, AF stands for as fuck. So Jenny Mainpa, and her podcast is called Feminist as Fuck. She is amazing. And I also have another podcast on the network right now. It's called My Cup of Tea. And that is also my podcast, but it is more of a personal podcast. And it is about all the different things that I like to do, all the different people that I like to talk to, and all the different interests that I have. I am a true scanner in the Barbara Scheer sense of the word. And if you don't know her, please check out Barbara Scheer. She is an icon in the, I guess, coaching industry. She started out on Channel 13, and that's the public public television, and I just absolutely adore her. She has written many, many books, and she's still out there. So check her out when you get a chance, and just let me know, what you're thinking about and what our podcast network is all about. And I hope that I get a chance to talk to some of you who are listening in at some time in the future. So for now, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you soon. This is the She Leads Podcast Network.